Hello, it is Wednesday. How are you? It is also Valentine's Day. And so today we are probably a little bit being bombarded by a preoccupation with love. Some people are happy in love, some people are miserable in love, some people aren't in love. And here we are, right? So I'm going to invite you to come at this from a different angle. And I would love for you to write yourself a love letter today. It's not as easy as it sounds. Take the interactive meditations that we do every day. You can take those as inspiration. I am significant. I am enough. I am worthy. Every day I'm getting better and better, even if it doesn't feel like it. I'm flexing muscles that haven't been flexed before just by being here, just by breathing, just by having myself do these interactive meditations every single day, when sometimes it just feels like, what's the point? Sometimes it just feels like, you know what, I'd rather just be done and out. I'm ready to give up. Nothing's happening fast enough, or I'm too tired to keep going. Whatever the reason is, that often sends us a feeling of discouragement and a feeling of wanting to give up. So first of all, we want to do some work around that. So do a thought purge on it. Figure out what it is that you need that you're not receiving right now. And let's see if we can't get that for you. And when you do kind of put a finger on it, message me. And that's something that we can bring up in here as well. Okay, so for example, someone messaged me yesterday and said, I'm done, I'm out. That's hard. That's hard. Because I know what that feels like. And I know that at some point in our journey, at least once, for some of us, far more often than just once, we just want to stop. We're tired, we're exhausted. There's too much we are not getting in our journey right now. There's too much support that we are lacking. And so because we're not getting that, we just want to give up. And I'm here to tell you, it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to ask for help and support. It's okay to wallow for a time. Okay, so you can give yourself, way back we talked about music and how we can use music to sort of get some of these emotions out. So have your playlist ready. That might have been in the 30 days of confidence. So I'll just give you a quick recap. So what we do in that case is we have a set appointment that we offer ourselves with the sadness or the anger or the frustration or just the need to cry it out. And sometimes it's really hard to give ourselves permission to cry. I didn't cry for like 20 years. There was no way I was going to cry. Every now and then some tears would seep out on like a weaker day and I would beat myself up for it. So that was in my toxic years, and your toxic years may very well have been similar to that. So giving ourselves permission to cry and sort of getting ourselves into that space where we're able to is not the easiest thing to do. So I recommend a set of like 4 songs that really tug at your heartstrings, 4 songs that really just kind of are tear jerkers, and they just go right down to your soul, and they just sort of unlock something there so that you can allow yourself a good cry. And then after those 4 songs, so this is a playlist you're going to build. After those 4 songs, have a song that's just slightly less sad, and then another song that's slightly less sad, and then another song, so that you're slowly, and respecting your nervous system, you're slowly bringing yourself, guiding yourself up the ramp into a different emotional space or vibration or whatever it is that you want to call it, right? So first we're going to give ourselves a good cry, and then we're slowly going to remind ourselves There's more to life than this. You might not feel like it right now, but there is more, and you deserve more, and you are worth so much more than what's happening here right now. You are worth getting the support that you need. You are worth getting the love that you're craving. And so, okay, so this is just a quick recap of that structure of using the music to allow yourself the release of the emotions, because bottling them up is not going to be good. It is going to cause so many issues and physical issues that I really would love for you to not have to endure and not have to deal with, because then that's a whole different ball game with doctors and medications and treatments and tests and all the things. That can be really overwhelming in itself. So let's not add more trauma. Let's do what we can to avoid adding trauma to our journey that is already so laced with grief and loss and trauma. Okay. So back to the music. So have your 4 songs and then slowly step out, and then end it on, as you're building this playlist for yourself, end it on something that really feels powerful for you. So for me, historically, for at least, I don't even know how old this song is. So at least 10, 15 years. So What, You're Still a Rock Star. That one has been a really good, uplifting, and just, I want to yell and scream and sing and just get it all out. And that usually happens in my car. So that's a good one. Like, that kind of concept is a good one to end on. And now I can't even think of any others, but I'm sure that this is having you kind of think of a song that really gives you that, I can get it all out and then I'm good, I'm better. You're not going to be magically healed through this. I'm sorry to say, there is so much more to the healing journey than these concepts, right? We're allowed to grieve, but at some point we want to go down and want to heal what's causing the grief, right? We're allowed to be exhausted, but at some point we need to get down there and we need to heal what's causing the exhaustion. We're allowed to be a little manic even, right? That's one of the trauma responses. But at some point we need to go down and we need to heal what's causing the mania, or the drive to be busy all the time, or the drive to whatever it is, numb, right? So we don't judge any of these trauma responses. We don't judge any of them. At the same time, at some point, we want to go down and we need to do the healing work way down there. The quickest, most effective, most efficient way is through a REM session, otherwise known as breakthrough sessions or emotional release sessions, whatever you want to call it. They're generated by REM, regenerating images in memory, and we can go down there and we can do the healing work. And then we wait a few weeks and we see what else is ready to be healed. Now that that block has been removed, what other blocks are there? And so as much as one session can totally change your life, most of us with trauma and with CPTSD, we require more than just a few sessions, because a lot of wrong has happened to us. In order to not add more wrong to ourselves, right? Re-traumatizing ourselves, we just want to go down there and do the healing work so that we're not constantly in this survival mode, right? Because this survival mode is only sustainable for so long. And at some point, yeah, we want to give up. And at some point we do get sick. And then we're in a different level of survival mode that, trust me, you don't want. Okay. So back to the love letter. So the easiest way to write yourself a love letter, and happy Valentine's Day. The easiest way to write yourself a love letter is in third person. So if your name is Rachel, just go ahead and do a Dear Rachel, I love you. I love the fire in your soul, in your heart. I love how you're doing the work to heal, not only heal, but also you're doing the work for a better tomorrow, a tomorrow that we could actually love, a tomorrow that actually could have the most beautiful dreams come true that we're not even really allowing ourselves to actually acknowledge we have those dreams. Right. So from that perspective, write yourself a love letter in third person. This is really hard to do. I have this as a part of my program. And a lot of clients, it takes them a couple weeks actually to finally get to allowing themselves to find things about themselves that they love. So that's why we begin this process in a third person perspective, because it's easier that way. The nervous system isn't used to finding things about ourselves that we love. So when you've completed that, and one more thing, as you're writing that letter from the third person perspective, so calling yourself by your name and saying you, before we translate this into the first person perspective, so I'm not trying to complicate this, but basically the first one's going to be Dear Rachel, and then the second one's going to be Dear Me. And then we copy it all down in order to have it be in a Dear Me. So every time you wrote you are so much stronger than you think. You are so much more lovable than you think. Whatever it is that you write in this love letter to yourself, in the third person, we now translate it into the Dear Me. I am so much more lovable than I've ever been shown, or than I've ever allowed myself to see, or than I ever have felt. And so first, third person, making sure that you're tapping into the soul of something as opposed to the effect of something, right? So instead of being, you're such a great cook, everyone loves to come over and eat your food. Okay, so let's dive deeper, right? And we'll go, you put so much care and effort and love into how you care for your family and people that you love. And this is such a beautiful quality in you. And I love this about you. I love how you care so deeply. And everything you do really has your unique fingerprint on it that only you can do. And the world responds so beautifully to that and is so attracted to that and what you create in that, from that space within you. Right? So instead of looking at results, we're going to go down and we're going to really highlight and maybe for the first time ever, become more aware of what it is that's actually under all that, right? That's actually driving that effect. So this is an effect, but what's actually driving the effect? It's not about the meals. It's about the love, care, nurturing, attention to detail, experience and the heart and soul that you put into that. Now, when we nurture this part of ourselves, as opposed to that result, now we're taking pressure off. Because if we're only talking about how great of a cook we are, then now all of a sudden, in order to really feel a sense of love for myself, now I feel like I have to cook for my family in order to feel that, right? So this is just an example. Whereas if I really nurture the fact that I care and I have all this experience and I really do put my heart and soul into what I create for people I love, now I'm able to really nurture that, the actual true source of that result, right? So again, we're going to the source, just like we do with trauma healing, going to the source of it to do the healing. We're actually doing that in our loving ourselves exercises as well. That was a mouthful. I hope you're still with me. Okay. So when you're done, that third person, go ahead and translate it into the Dear Me. I love how I put so much care and effort into the things I create and how I nurture my family or myself or my body or my dogs or my cats or whatever. Right. So do that translating work. Don't skip the first step because it's not as easy as it sounds. I've known people who just this is probably the most difficult exercise for them. So even if you've done this before, write yourself a new one today. It's Valentine's Day. And just allow yourself to find something new about you. You're in like the root, the depth of you, the deep parts of you. Find something there that you can fall in love with. Okay, and then do the translating work. And now I just want to encourage you to keep those letters handy. Keep them in a drawer next to your bed. So if you're still waking up in the middle of the night, and we still have more work to do in that space, if that's you, then you have the letter there. And you read that letter to yourself. And you read it as many times as you need to. Take a picture of it, put it on your phone. Do write this with pen and paper because there is the whole neurological aspect of actually writing with pen and paper. So allow yourself to have that the true whole experience, right? Whereas if you're just typing this on a phone, it has a different physiological effect. Anyway, so all that aside, write with pen and paper. There are reasons for it. They're backed by scientists, neuroscientists, and maybe that's all we need to say. And then take a picture of it and put it on your phone so that you have it, so that when those moments come and you just want to stop, you want to give up, you want to just give in to the exhaustion and the discouragement and all the things that are so valid. They're so valid. This is such a difficult journey, especially if we're doing it by ourselves, right? And especially if we're lacking the support that we need. This is a brutal, lonely. I just find it so lonely because no one can really grasp the depth of your pain the way you do. And even for myself, someone who's been there, your pain is different than mine. The pain that I experienced was mine. Your pain is yours. And so in this group, we want to honor all that. And then we also want to go down and really do some work down there. So recap: love letter, third person, and then translate into first person. Have it be focused on what's driving the results. Maybe that because we're so result driven in our society, have it be what's driving the results as opposed to the results when you're talking about how you love yourself. Okay, and then do the translating. Also, remember that as we honor our feelings and our need to get them out, because sometimes they just need to get out, and we may never have given ourselves permission to get them out before, right? And it can be so bundled up. So ways to get those out is through the thought purges. Okay, so if you haven't taken the course, let me know. I will make sure you get the link to the course. For members, it's free. So just let me know. So do thought purges, get it out. So it's not sitting down there fermenting and getting bigger and bigger and more dangerous, and then causing physical ramifications as a result, in addition to all the emotional and nervous system ramifications. Okay, on top of that, the playlist. Build yourself a playlist. It's Valentine's Day. Let's show ourselves some love in like a real way, not in a topical, this feels good way. Those are nice too, but let's dive a little deeper, and let's come at Valentine's Day from a little bit of a different perspective today. Yeah, I think that is the end of what I'm really hoping to offer you today. And so I'll see you soon. If you need help with any of this, please feel free to shoot me a message. And I'm sending you love, and happy Valentine's Day. Let this be the day that you find something new to really appreciate and love about yourself. Okay, see you soon.